There's probably no way I'm going to get this done in under 10,000. All right, so I have a lot of new subscribers since I started all these projects, and so really just want to give you a tour today of the property and the progress on the cabin and give some thoughts that I have about the construction process and all that I've been able to get done over the last year and a half here on my 20-acre property in West Tennessee. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Justin and I'm a pastor here in West Tennessee, and I'm building my dream getaway and doomsday and bug out location here in West Tennessee. So I'm gonna give you a tour today, show you everything that I've done. This is my off-grid property. This is my cabin at my off-grid property. This is my woodshed at my off-grid property. This is my pergola at my off-grid property. This is my workshop slash shed at my off-grid property. And this is my outhouse at my off-grid property. So this is the main hub here at the off-grid property. And of course, at the center is the cabin that is in mid-construction. My goal is to have my family spend Christmas Eve night and Christmas morning here in 2024. We'll see if I get there. But in the meantime, I thought I'd update you on all the projects that I've done and how things are moving along. So as you come down the gravel driveway here, I have some gravel spread out over here and also down there by the picnic table area. So I have a great parking spot right here and plenty of room to spread out. There will be a porch that comes off here, approximately 6 feet. That's later on down the line, I suppose. But yeah, the layout I think has gone really well. Over here to my left is the parking area and the picnic table. Then over here is the workshop, the outhouse, the cabin, and the woodshed. So let me give you some thoughts on each one of these projects. This picnic table, pergola, overhang kind of thing that I built was the first construction project that I did out here at the property. And I did some things right and some things wrong. These are treated 4x4 posts. They're down in the ground with a bag of concrete in each one. And I definitely overbuilt this with this 1x2 purlins and the 2x4s. It really doesn't need all of that, but it has worked really well. I put way too many screws in it than was needed, but that's okay. It does keep everything nice and dry. It is pretty level under here. I thought this would be where I do all my working for when I'm building stuff. I thought this would be the staging area, and I've never used it as that. It literally just holds this picnic table area, and ate some chicken fried rice earlier that I got on my way in, and it was a storage area for a lot of the supplies for the cabin. If I were to do this again, I would not try and do it by myself. That's where I messed up. I wouldn't try and have the measurements be exactly perfect, because as you can see right here, this outside 2x4, which is, or 2x6, I don't think it's pressure treated. So yeah, I didn't build the overhang enough on the front and the back. So I would definitely do that again. It's fine on the sides. There's maybe a 1/2 inch. So as you can see, it has caught a bunch of leaves and branches and stuff. So it is working. And it was a good first experience with metal roofing. That definitely helped me out learning that. This is the off-grid workshop that I built next. So after the picnic table area, it was this. Overall, I did better, absolutely. Still would have done things different. I definitely think putting these on blocks was the easiest thing. It is very well built. The ramp is super sturdy. And if you haven't seen this video, check out the tour that I give of this. It basically holds all my construction supplies. I've got Quickcrete, that's down there for the fire pit that I need to build. But I have some old furniture in here that's holding things, and that's all camping stuff over there. So I cook over here and do some cleaning, and holds a bunch of camping supplies and things like cots and stoves and candles and the fan and random stuff. If I were to do this again, I would build it similar to the cabin. These purlins I put between the rafters, and that took a ton of work. I would not do that way. Something else that I really didn't think about, because I had my dad and father-in-law here helping, is the orientation of it. So it doesn't line up perfectly with the cabin. It needs to be like twisted, boop, this way a hair. And so had I were to do that again, I would have made sure that everything was nice and angled correctly, but that's not that big of a deal. This siding is good because it is pre-painted, but you have to get everything lined up exactly right, and especially if you're doing multiple pieces, which makes it really hard. The roof on this one was much better and went down really well, but again, these end caps I would have done differently for sure. But this thing is not going anywhere, and it's done great. Next is the outhouse here. This was, I would say, a very easy build in comparison to the other two. There's really nothing that I would change if I were to do this again. This is all pressure treated, gives you a place to step up on, and the seat is the perfect height. I love that I did this clear plastic roof because it just lights it up. You don't need anything to bring some light into it. There have not been any mice, very few bugs. It's very well done. I love my little door handle here that I cut off a branch from a tree. I sounded really redneck there when I said branch. The only thing really in hindsight is making sure that it is dried in. And the only thing that I really had to do was to add this little platform thing on the back so that as water drips down from the roof, it doesn't wash into the bottom of the outhouse. So it is perfectly dry down in there, which is great. And got some Virginia creeper coming up. And then after that, I built the woodshed. If you've seen the woodshed build series, you will know that I did make some mistakes, but I was able to fix them all. So it's actually in great shape. This is probably one of my favorite builds. I think because it just looks so symmetrical and like so beautiful. I don't know, I love this thing. Really fun build. I built this completely by myself, literally without anyone's help, and it has helped keep everything nice and dry. This is a spare piece from the workshop that they gave me. And in fact, I really need to start splitting wood. I've got tons of logs that have been cut, just need to be split. And finally, it's the cabin, which the bones of it are all done. I just got to put the door in. The door is located right here. And things are looking really good in here. Every time I think about the cabin when I'm at home, I picture it bigger in my mind than when I get here. So this is 16 by 24 feet, 384 square feet. And I'll just tell you, in all my research online and watching YouTube videos, it's really hard to get a scale of the size just from videos. And few people mention the size very often, but this is 16 by 24 feet. It's approximately 12 feet high in the middle. I'm glad I did all the windows because you get all the little reflections from the leaves and the shadows, and it's looking really good. This has taken so much more work than I thought it was going to. Labor of love for sure. I gotta figure out how to seal that up. Way up there. So let me give you just a overview of the cost up to this point. I have spent approximately $5,500 to get me to this point right here. That includes the stones for the foundation, all of the wood, the subfloor, the walls, the rafters, the roof, the windows, the door, everything. Approximately $5,500. Maybe there's a few more bits of screws and nails and random stuff. That doesn't include gas to get here from my home, which is about 55 miles away. And so I was really hoping that I would get everything done for $10,000. We'll see how much the siding costs. Insulation's not gonna be bad. I really don't think electrical will be, depending on my power source, I think it's gonna be a battery bank. If I do that, that'll be expensive. It'll sit over here. And then of course, furnishings. Yeah, there's probably no way I'm gonna get this done in under 10,000. But yeah, this is what $5,500 will get you. The roof was about $1,000, around $1,500 for the windows. It was $300 for the door. The wood was another $1,000 or so. So yeah, there's no perfect time in my mind to buy the lumber. I just had to commit to it and just buy it. This house wrap was $300. Killed me to spend that amount of money on house wrap. Seems ridiculous. But yeah, doesn't include any labor. I'm not sure how much labor is in here. Maybe 300 hours, 300 man hours. So yeah, there you have it. That's a little tour of this area. Let me show you around the property a little bit and then we'll wrap this video up. This is my deer hunting site. This deer stand has been great. It holds tight. Able to get up in it, and I have yet to kill anything out of this deer stand. I've only hunted in it twice. As you can see, I've cleared some land around it. And this is my deer feeder that I set up. One of the problems that I face when I'm out here is that I don't ever have enough time. Not enough time to get the projects done that I want to get done, and not enough time to hunt and to hike and to explore God's creation. It's one of the tensions that I always feel when I'm out here, is the tension to get more work done while at the same time wanting to have some fun and actually enjoy it. This is my 2003 Honda Foreman that my grandfather gifted to me last year, and I love this four-wheeler. I kind of did some cosmetic upgrades, changed the oil, got a new muffler, added some stuff like this for the kids to ride on, things like that, and this four-wheeler has been great. I've had no issues out of it whatsoever. These tires are bald. So turning is a little bit of a challenge, but apart from that, yeah, it works great. It is carbureted, so it does take a choke to warm it up for a few minutes during the winter time. But apart from that, the four-wheel drive works. It's got plenty of power. I think this is a 400cc, 420cc Honda motor, and you just can't break these things. Things are great. I love this four-wheeler. It has 1,288 hours. I have no clue if that's a lot or not, but it sounds like a lot. And this is what the vast majority of my property looks like. It is almost all hardwoods. A mixture of ash, elm, birch, beech, white oak, a few maples in here, and it's just gorgeous. I love it. So many people I know that have a second property, they have so much grass or pasture land that takes so much work to maintain it, and I don't want to be cutting grass when I'm out here. So that was kind of my philosophy on having all woods. This, my dear friends, is my creek. This is about 20 feet across. One day I'm going to build a bridge across it. There are a few spots where it's a little bit easier to cross, but this creek is a year-round creek. I think it's mostly just runoff, but there could be a stream, an actual spring connected to it. Today is September the 7th. Just came out of the dry season here in West Tennessee, and there's water here. This is about what it's like most of the year, and then in the winter it can get even more. But if poop hits the fan and I'm living out here at the cabin, this is my freshwater source. The cabin site is way up that way, a couple hundred yards. But I can get the water here and purify it pretty easily. And I actually own 3 acres on the other side of the creek. And that's why I really want to build a bridge. I want to go and explore that more. I have access to it for deer hunting, things like that. Love this creek though. I just wonder if I threw some brim or sunfish down in here, if they would survive. Really cool. First time I walked down here, I went to my knee in sand. So it's like quicksand, and that was literally right over here. So there you have it. There's a little quick tour of the off-grid property and some of the things that I've been able to get done over the last year and a half. I'm going to lay down here on the four-wheeler and enjoy the Lord's creation.